Igual que yeah, I mean I've tried it before. Yeah, I don't want to have them fine.
British breakfast, please.
Oh, Mom, did you see this? Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. No.
Oh, sorry.
7:30 it starts, but we queue up from 5:30. Come back here, it'll be very obvious.
The other one, look, the sheets is
Empty. Although it says a bit full shit on.
CCO here at 15. Callum. Callum. He's at the Callum Hotel. mà cháu cháu cháu
Oh, you can try not to, but it's a bit